Hello and welcome back to Solomon's Cave and a new video on Biblical Hebrew. By now, you've learned some basic Hebrew, including the consonants, the vowels, and the relevant accents. So, you may be bold and challenge yourself by starting to read a bit and trying to recognize a word here and there. But, if you are paying close attention to the details, and you compare the words you read on the page with the dictionary, you will sometimes find that the vowels don't match exactly with what you expect. Sometimes they are longer, and sometimes they are of a different class. What's going on here? Well, a lot of things could be going on, and understanding Pausa spelling may not answer all of the questions you might have, but it should answer at least some of them. In a previous video, I mentioned that sometimes words can get certain accents that are meant to help by reading it out loud. The most common ones are the combination of a soft pasuk and a siluk at the end of a verse, and the atnach roughly in the middle of a verse. These occur when there is a logical place for the reader to either take a breath and or place some extra emphasis. What often happens, and this is essentially true for every language, is that when you reach the end of a sentence or a phrase, you very subtly shift your pronunciation of that word, adding an emphasis and perhaps lengthening your pronunciation to indicate to the listener that you are going to take a breath. Now, in most languages, these kinds of subtle differences in pronunciation are not reflected in the spelling of the words. But in Hebrew, they are, at least in some cases. It is therefore common to see the vowel next to the siluk or the atnach, and sometimes under the zakef, change a little bit. This is what is called pausa spelling, or sometimes in pause. The most common way a pausa changes a vowel is for a patach to change into a kametz. So a short a turns into a long a. Here are some examples. Water, mayim, becomes mayim. People, becomes am. Gate, sha'ar, becomes sha'ar. Another possibility is that the sagol, or the short e, becomes a long a as well. Here are some examples. Earth, eretz, becomes aretz. Servant, avet, becomes avet. Also, when you add a siluk or athnach to a syllable that has a shewa or a composite shewa, those then change to a full vowel. Examples with a normal shewa: fruit, peri, becomes peri. Your horse, suscha, becomes susecha. And examples with a composite shewa: I, ani, becomes ani. Sickness, choli, becomes choli. And here are some examples with verbs. They will hear, yishma'u, becomes yishma'u. She killed, katla, becomes katala. In these examples, the shewa actually reverts back to the original vowel, which is a patach, which is then subsequently also lengthened to a kametz. But that's for a future video. And that is basically it. So if you see a siluk or an athnach, and sometimes a zakef and very seldom another accent, and the vowel is longer and or different than you would expect, remember the pausa rules. When a syllable is in pausa, the vowel may be lengthened, and sometimes a short e can turn into a long a. Thanks for watching. If you want to support me on Patreon or become a member on YouTube, follow the links in the description so you can see my videos early, vote on topics, ask questions, and more. The next video will be about another relatively small but very common issue: the conjunction and how to say and in Hebrew.